Hello friends, I'm Christopher and I love to garden. My love for gardening has grown and developed over the years as I've learned from different content creators on YouTube and family and friends. And this video is part of a series where I go and give credit where credit is due and say thank you to people and try to show a little bit what I've learned from them and how I've implemented it in my garden. So today I'm giving a shout out and special thanks to Stephen from Alberta Urban Garden.
Hi, I'm Stephen with AlbertaUrbanGarden.ca.
Yeah, I know there was a little bit more to that actual name, but like mine, Midwest Man Mountain Home and Garden DIY, which is too long of a name, I know his has kind of a long tail to it as well. So I'm standing by my trees today because for some reason when I think of Stephen and Alberta Urban Garden, I think of trees. And I'll tell you why. It's because of my favorite video of his that I've ever watched. And it was on techniques for grafting fruit trees. And it was so impactful on me because he's from Alberta, Canada, and I think he's in Zone 3. Here in Oshkosh, we're in 5A. So he's growing in a colder climate, and he's had great success with all sorts of fruit trees and other things in his garden. So that inspires me, knowing that if things work for him, if I use similar techniques and make sure I'm being a good scientific gardener, I can get great success in mine. So I come to you today standing next to my apple tree. This is 2 years old, and it's nearly at clavicle height for me. I'm 6'5". It's a beautiful tree. This started from bare root, and I think it's 2018 right now. In 2020, when the tree has had a solid 3 years of growth, and it's in year 4, I think that's when I will start grafting. Now, my mother's father, my grandpa, when I grew up, he had a ton of trees. He had some apple trees, he had some pear trees, and there are a few of the apple trees that still exist on his property. And what I'd like to do is I would like to graft a few branches from those apple trees onto this Macintosh and its partner Granny Smith over there, making sure that, checking ahead of time that they'll probably work. I expect that they will. So one of the things that I like so much about Stephen's channel, well, there are a lot of things. I like that he can grow a lot in colder climates than mine. I really respect the scripting that he does. Unlike my channel where my videos are rambling, lots of train of thought, I think he actually writes out a script and tries to stick to it. Or if not, that's what it seems like. He must be a very articulate speaker. The other thing that I like so much is he's incredibly scientific. He has a plethora of videos that are like scientific garden tests, so like things on composting, things on testing your soil, these A/B tests on does this actually work in your garden or does this not? How does it stand up to X, Y, and Z? Those kind of things are really fascinating for me. And I'm taking that to heart. This year I actually got, hold on, let me go grab it. I was able to get a hold of a 5-gallon thing of worm castings. Or excuse me, a 5-pound thing of worm castings. 5 gallons might be a little bit too much. Anyways, I'm going to do some A/B testing in my garden this year. I think among the peppers, I'm going to do half of them with the worm castings and half without, assuming they'll be like approximately the same sun and watering and everything else, and this should be the only difference. So it's fun. I'm going to do some science in my garden, and even if it doesn't turn out the way I think it's going to be a great experience. That's science, My hypothesis is going to be that the peppers that I grow in the worm castings will grow better than the other peppers. And we are just going to find out if that's the case. Unfortunately, Stephen hasn't had a whole lot of time over the last year to put out much content. He used to be pretty regular, once every week or so. But he's got a family and a job, and it's a busy life, and that happens to all of us. I think I've gone for like a month and a half before without creating any content. So, and with our first child on the way this August, who knows what the frequency of content is going to be like on my channel. So I'm empathizing with Stephen. But if you haven't already checked out his channel, I highly recommend it. I think he's got something like 50,000 subs. His content is really very good. I hope you check it out. If you're new here, I hope you'll subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and happy gardening. Bye.